10 ways to recognize envy and falsehood in others. Imagine waking up every day with a heart full of peace, free from the weight of comparison, envy, or deceit. Picture a life where you are not shaken by the actions or words of others, where your happiness is rooted in truth and wisdom, not fleeting external approval. What if I told you that this life is within your reach, and it begins with recognizing the subtle forces around us, envy and falsehood, that quietly steal our joy? Today we will uncover how to break free from these traps and create a life of lasting fulfillment and inner peace. Number 1. The root of envy is deficiency. Envy is a destructive force that emerges when we feel we are lacking something that others possess. It's a silent thief that robs us of our happiness, peace, and contentment. Think about it. How many times have you looked at someone else's success, their wealth or their lifestyle, and felt a sense of inadequacy creeping in? That feeling is envy. It tells us that we are not enough, that what others have somehow diminishes our worth. But here's the truth. Envy is a lie. It is based on a false belief that another person's success is a threat to our own happiness. This thought process distorts reality, making us believe we must compete or compare ourselves to others to find fulfillment. Yet true happiness comes not from comparison, but from embracing our own unique journey. Ask yourself, when was the last time you truly celebrated someone else's success without feeling less than? When we release the hold envy has on us, we unlock a life of peace, contentment, and joy. Living with an open heart, free of envy, is not just a choice, it's the foundation of a truly fulfilled life. Are you ready to embrace your own greatness without looking to others for validation? Number 2. Falsehoods stem from self-interest. Falsehoods at their core are not simply lies, they are deliberate distortions of the truth for personal gain. When people speak falsely, it is often out of self-interest, to protect their image, avoid consequences, or manipulate a situation in their favor. Think about the last time you heard someone twist the truth to save themselves or gain an advantage. It might have seemed small at first, but falsehoods have a ripple effect, eroding trust and creating doubt in relationships. True happiness comes from authenticity. When we speak the truth, we align with our highest values, and this alignment brings peace and confidence. But when we resort to falsehoods, even minor ones, we betray our own integrity. This self-betrayal is what pulls us further from lasting joy. Lies may seem like a quick fix in the moment, but they leave us feeling hollow, anxious, and disconnected. When we allow falsehoods to take root in our lives, we trade in our happiness for fleeting comfort. Real, lasting happiness is built on the foundation of truth. It's time to live with integrity, speak with honesty, act with authenticity, and see how it transforms your life into one of genuine happiness and fulfillment. Number 3. Criticism cloaked in envy. Have you ever encountered someone who constantly criticizes others, often in subtle or indirect ways? Behind these words you might find envy, an emotion that surfaces when someone feels threatened by another's success or qualities. Envy can disguise itself as criticism, making it seem as though the person is merely offering constructive feedback. But deep down, their words stem from a desire to bring others down to their level. This is the nature of envy. It seeks to diminish others to make itself feel superior. It's important to recognize this behavior, as it can have a significant impact on your own happiness. The truth is, envy robs you of peace. When you allow envy to take root, you begin to focus more on tearing others down than on elevating yourself. Instead of celebrating someone's success, you may find yourself criticizing them, unknowingly trapped in negativity. Now, imagine what your life could be like if you broke free from this cycle. What if, instead of feeling threatened by the success of others, you celebrated it? What if you focused on your own growth, knowing that their success does not diminish your own potential? You would experience freedom. Freedom from resentment, from comparison, and from the destructive power of envy. Number 4. Distortion of reality. Falsehoods are more than just a misstatement. They are deliberate distortions of reality. When someone chooses to deceive, they are reshaping truth to serve their personal agenda, whether that's protecting their ego, gaining an advantage, or hiding mistakes. Have you ever encountered someone who twists the facts, alters key details, or withholds the whole truth? At first glance, it might seem harmless, but over time, these small shifts in reality erode trust and create a world built on illusion rather than truth. Now think about the impact this has on your own life. The more we encounter distortions of truth, the harder it becomes to trust both others and ourselves. This lack of trust creates anxiety, confusion, and ultimately unhappiness. You cannot build a life full of joy and peace on a foundation of lies, even small ones. Authenticity and honesty are the cornerstones of true happiness. When we engage with truth, we align ourselves with clarity and purpose. Life becomes simpler, more straightforward. The more we let go of falsehoods and embrace reality, the more space we create for real, lasting joy. When you live truthfully, without distortions, you open yourself to the purest form of happiness. Number 5. Constant comparison breeds envy. In today's world, we are constantly bombarded with images of other people's lives. On social media, in advertisements, and even in the stories we hear from friends and family. It's easy to fall into the trap of comparing our achievements, our looks, or our lifestyle to others. But here's a harsh truth. Comparison is the breeding ground for envy. When you compare yourself to others, you are measuring your worth against an external standard that is often unrealistic, filtered, or incomplete. The danger of comparison is not just about feeling less than. It's about losing sight of your own unique path. Envy creeps in when you believe that someone else's success diminishes your own potential for happiness. You begin to feel that their achievements are a direct threat to your own fulfillment. But happiness does not come from measuring yourself against others. Imagine waking up every day with a sense of fulfillment and peace, focused solely on your own journey, free from the anxiety of competing with someone else's timeline. True happiness is about celebrating your own progress, no matter how big or small, and realizing that your worth is not defined by the success of others. When you stop comparing, you start living a life full of contentment and joy, uniquely yours. Number 6. Resentment arising from envy. Envy is a powerful emotion, one that doesn't just fade away quietly, it festers. When left unchecked, envy transforms into something darker, resentment. Have you ever found yourself resenting someone else's success or happiness? It might have started with a small feeling of inadequacy, but over time that feeling grows into bitterness, and you begin to secretly wish for their downfall. Resentment clouds your judgment and steals your peace, leaving you trapped in negative emotions that weigh heavily on your soul. This resentment is the thief of your happiness. It keeps you focused on others, constantly comparing your life to theirs, all while robbing you of the opportunity to appreciate your own journey. When you carry resentment, you are holding on to anger and frustration that prevent you from living fully. You can't embrace joy when you're tethered to feelings of bitterness. Now, think about this. What would it feel like to release that resentment and embrace contentment instead? Imagine letting go of the need to be better than anyone else and simply focusing on becoming the best version of yourself. The moment you stop resenting others and start appreciating your own unique path, you free yourself from the chains of negativity. You reclaim your happiness, your peace, and your freedom. Number 7. Lies born from fear. At the heart of every falsehood is fear. Fear of judgment, fear of failure, or fear of being exposed. When people lie, it's often not because they are trying to hurt others, but because they are trying to protect themselves, shielding their fragile egos, avoiding consequences, or trying to maintain control over a situation. Think about the last time you or someone you knew told a lie. Wasn't there an underlying fear that motivated it? A fear of what might happen if the truth were revealed? Lies may offer temporary comfort or avoidance, but they come at a cost. The longer you live in fear of truth, the more anxiety, guilt, and unease you invite into your life. Lies weigh heavily on the soul, pulling you away from peace and joy. The pursuit of happiness cannot thrive when fear holds sway over our actions and words. When you live in fear of truth, you begin to compromise your integrity, and this erosion of trust creates a barrier to genuine happiness. The truth, though difficult at times, is liberating. It frees you from the constant tension of pretending, hiding, or managing lies. Imagine a life where you no longer need to fear the consequences of honesty. That life is within your reach, and it is one built on the foundation of courage and truth. Number 8. Admiration masking envy. Envy often wears a mask, disguising itself as admiration. It's a deceptive emotion, one that can be difficult to spot. How many times have you heard someone praise another, seemingly offering admiration, yet felt something wasn't quite right? Beneath the surface, envy may be lurking, causing the person to speak highly of someone else, while secretly wishing they had what they possess. This form of hidden envy is especially toxic, because it can breed insincerity in relationships, making it hard to trust the motives of those around you. This is where the danger lies. When we admire someone outwardly but harbor feelings of jealousy inwardly, we create a conflict within ourselves. The emotional toll of this inner contradiction can steal our peace and disrupt our happiness. Instead of embracing the joy that comes from truly appreciating someone else's success, we feel threatened, as though their achievements somehow detract from our own. Take a moment to reflect. When you admire someone, are you doing so with a pure heart, or are you comparing yourself to them, feeling less than in the process? True happiness arises when we can genuinely celebrate others' victories without feeling diminished. Imagine living in a world where every success, whether your own or someone else's, is an opportunity for joy and growth. That is the power of genuine admiration, free from the shadows of envy. Number 9. The erosion of trust through falsehood. Trust is the foundation of every meaningful relationship, whether it's with a partner, a friend, or a colleague. When we build our lives on honesty and transparency, we create strong, lasting connections that nurture our happiness. But when falsehoods enter the picture, trust begins to erode, often quietly and unnoticed. Lies, whether large or small, break down the trust that binds us together, leaving behind a sense of uncertainty and disillusionment. Think about the last time someone lied to you. How did it feel? Betrayal, disappointment, and perhaps even fear of being deceived again. This emotional toll is heavy, and it carries consequences far beyond the initial lie. Once trust is broken, it takes time and sometimes a great deal of effort to rebuild it. In the meantime, the relationship suffers, and so does our happiness. When falsehoods are allowed to persist, they chip away at the integrity of both the individual and the connection they share with others. We become guarded, suspicious, and uncertain. The true path to happiness is paved with trust, and when that trust is compromised, it leads us into a cycle of anxiety and discomfort. Imagine a life where trust is unshakable, where you never have to second-guess someone's word. That's the life that honesty and integrity create, a life of security, peace, and lasting happiness. Number 10. Respond with wisdom, not emotion. In a world where emotions often drive our reactions, the key to true happiness lies in responding with wisdom rather than impulsive emotion. When faced with envy or falsehood, It's natural to feel anger, frustration, or hurt. But reacting in these moments often leads us down a path of negativity, and that negativity clouds our ability to see the bigger picture. What if, instead of reacting emotionally to the envy or deceit of others, we chose to respond with calm reflection and wisdom? Wisdom allows us to assess the situation without being overwhelmed by fleeting emotions, giving us the power to make decisions that align with our higher values. When we respond with wisdom, we create space for peace in our lives, and we no longer let the actions of others control our inner state. Living a life full of happiness means not allowing outside forces, whether envy, falsehood, or negativity, to disturb our tranquility. By choosing wisdom over emotional reaction, we take control of our happiness. We no longer rely on external validation or approval to feel fulfilled. Instead, we cultivate an inner peace that remains unshaken by the chaos around us. Imagine the freedom of living a life where your emotions no longer dictate your happiness. This is the power of wisdom. Recognizing envy and falsehood in others is a powerful tool in cultivating a life of peace, happiness, and wisdom. By understanding these negative forces, we can choose to live authentically, respond with integrity, and focus on our own growth rather than comparing ourselves to others. True happiness lies in embracing truth, trust, and wisdom, freeing ourselves from the weight of resentment and envy. I encourage you to take these insights to heart and start living with purpose and clarity. Good luck on your journey toward a joyful, fulfilling life. And thank you for your time and attention.